Okay, so before I get into the subject matter, okay, let's just I realized that haven't done this in a while. Let's see, yep, this probably looks like shit, but it's better than not having it. So I was gonna Droodles released a video that I was like kinda, I didn't watch it. To his credit, I didn't watch it, and honestly I don't really care, but it reminded me of this vehicle because I got it a while ago, and I don't know about you, but to me at least, it might be shit at a lot of things, but you can't negate the alpha that it has, and I might or might not do some live gameplay depending on how long the queue takes. But the thing about it is, like, it has no armor and no mobility and like no accuracy and whatnot, but if you just play it like super close range, it has a lot of potential, and like it doesn't have to necessarily be close range, it just has to be like guaranteed for the gun. Now, if you look at the statistics, it's like almost 3k DPM without rammer. I don't recommend running rammer because you're barely firing anyway, but basically 242, that's like, if you look at the standard on like an STB without like calibrated, that's 245, that's like AP on like a standard mid on your hash, which is about 1300 damage per shot, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that goes up to like almost 4k DPM even with running calibrated on the hash, and like half the time you're not even firing AP anyway. So I had a couple of good games, one like basically right now, and one that well, I'll just get into it because I just want to really I don't think it's valid to claim that the tank has like zero relevancy in pubs, because it's just good at what it does. Now I'm just gonna like jump cut to like what we're doing here. Somebody called left, and I'm fine with that because they don't really have any meds. Their only med they have is really Vickers, and like both teams are relatively heavy, so they're probably gonna go heavy side. I'm okay with that. My justification for making this play, I would have gone mid, but I didn't want to risk getting like fucked by the Vickers, so I'm just going like kind of passively. I'm gonna go poke behind this K91 here, and immediately we're gonna get a good trade. The thing with the 183 is you literally can't out-trade it. There's no tank in the game with like higher alpha. So what I'm doing right now is I'm letting this Fosh pen me, and then I take as much time as I can before he turns away to angle, so I can't pen him, and then I just fire it at the latest possible second. And that was a risky shot, but even so, I would have probably splashed like 500, 600, and would have like, what about broken even. That's the opening play there. You're gonna notice that's 1.2k damage. He is a Fosh, right? His vehicle is like 640 alpha shots, and he's already, I don't know, I think somebody else hit him, but he's already down to like 1-2 shots of HP, and that really cripples a vehicle for the rest of the game. Even if it's an even 100, you take about half their HP in one shot. That's not something to fucking shrug off. So I claiming that the tank is just, this guy's gonna, yeah, it's, I don't even say anything about that. He just poked, and you just punish people for poking. Spots that are pennable with HG and meds, you can just pen with this thing, and it's really incredible what you can do. And like, people don't realize how high the DPM is, even though it's not like this crazy alpha. But yeah, the other M103 is gonna poke, I'm gonna pen him too. And like, it might not be the best damage sometimes, it might not be like the most critical shots, but in cases like these, when you're just doing a ton of damage, and you're bringing down the HP so far, like, you just can't really say it's not relevant. Even if you're not getting guns out of the game, you're making it so much easier for your teammates to get guns out of the game, and even if they're really bad at the game, they'll be able to like pen 1 or 2 shots and kill the enemies a lot more easily. And so like, I'm just playing like super passively. There's 2 tanks that are 1-shots. We're winning way too fast, so I'm just camping this angle, hoping for damage on the E4. I kind of poked there. I shouldn't have done that because I would have gotten spotted by the Vickers or the T30 or whatever, and I'm lit anyway. So he's gonna tunnel me. I get lit on fire. I'm really taking my time with the shot because I want it, and then I fire the last second and I die. But that's 5k. It's not really relevant to go over the rest. I'm gonna show you one more game that I thought was more descriptive of how well this tank can do in other situations. But yeah, against, I think just saying that just because the tank has been nerfed a shit ton, and yeah, it was nerfed a shit ton, and it might not be like the most beginner-friendly tank or whatever, but saying that it's just bad, just to say that it's like it's like missiles, like people, like they weren't, I'm not gonna get in my opinion over them, but the fact is that missiles were different from the rest of other vehicles. The 183 has an alpha that's like higher than anything practically. Like a 155mm, if they pen with HE, does about like 1k damage. This does like 1400 reliably with so much more pen. Like, that's something that no other tank comes remotely close to doing. And like, here, his T30, I take like, it's like 80% of his HP in one shot. That's 40 seconds in and he's already fucked for the rest of the game. If he tries to cross while he's spotted, he's basically dead. So that cripples his ability to make positional plays for the rest of the game. Because if he's lit, he's basically gonna die. And then, this is just toxic. And of course they're not gonna like land like in the center of the reticle every time. Like, you can run the refined gun. Like, I wouldn't think that's a bad play either to run it. But even if I had, that's still like 600 damage, like 400 damage, like minimum. And like, I'm sitting back here, I'm not even getting lit. I'm running like camo net, so like this, there's not much I can do early game just because, like, you know, it's this spot's really like one of the spots that the 183 just thrives in because of just how the tank works. But you have barely enough gun depression to like hit these targets and do things like that. And so this next part of the game is a little more stale. But the shots that you have on people are just enough in like cases that aren't super close quarters. Like, I just fired at that because I'm not gonna have a shot for 20 seconds. But they're close quarters enough where you can kind of make the gun work, and it has like good enough aiming time. Like, this is gonna be a loss, but it's one of those losses where like you can tell yourself, yeah, I don't really care if I lost that many games. If I had a loss like this every single game, and I could guarantee how I would do every single game, this is the type of game that I would have, because the tank just, like, you can try to out-trade it, but like, even if you're in a crossfire, you can guarantee that one shot, and that's just something that people just overlook about it. Like, people are like, oh, the RNG's so shit, the RNG. Then play the tank closer to your enemies. Like, what I'm doing here is like, I'm just guaranteeing myself damage. And this is just outrageous right here. He's on like 1400 HP, he's just fucking dead. I had to snap him, because like, it was like almost close there, and like, I just felt like clearing him, getting the camo. Like, I just felt taking a risky play, because honestly, in this point in the game, it's probably not looking that great for us. I pop the adrenaline, he's pushing, and I fire my first AP shot of the game. That's more than worth the trade. And if I'm being honest, I probably could have carried this if I didn't, like, I forgot what I did, because I played this a few days ago, but I don't win, sadly. The tank just has no armor. I'm YOLOing him to, I really didn't need to do that. I was like being overly aggressive to try to guarantee a shot. I get the kill on him, but I shouldn't have led to the WZ too early, because unless I had to, like, I didn't really have to bleed to him. Now the E50 is coming behind me. I don't really expect it, because I don't think hard enough. I probably just should have just pushed into the WZ, but yeah, he rams me for the kill because he's a really heavy vehicle with good armor, and that's game. It's 6k. I fired like, what? I fired like 4 shots, I think. Yeah, I fired like 5 shots, and no, 4 shots, and that's the thing, like, you just need to poke 4 times, you just need to guarantee those shots, and that's all you really need to do with this vehicle. Like, I'm not gonna say that it's great, but compared to like something like the YAG, where you just have like something that's so much less mobile, and the gun is still like just as antsy, and you don't get hesh. Like, the thing is with the 183, if the AP had like the premium pen of like the Hori, sure, that would be like a lot better, but how many times are you gonna be using that? Like, the whole point of the 183 is the mobility is like really shit, but it's just good enough to be able to position around heavies and to be able to get the angle to pen with hesh. So that was my rant. I'm sorry, like, I'm a scattered brain right now. I'm probably gonna make more content in the future. If you feel like editing for me or whatever, or I may or may not like pay you in gold or something. I just wanted to make a response because I think saying the 183 is just shit in general is just bad, and speaks the tank speaks volumes about positioning. I might do live gameplay in the future, but if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, send me welfare checks, and I will see you in the next one, which will probably be like in a couple minutes. Yeah, I can't end a video. I don't know how to end a video. I thought I clicked it.